50 years ago, the city of Irvine was incorporated. 50 years ago, I immigrated from Burma to America. Thanks to the President Johnson's immigration reform of 1965. Many of us here this afternoon are the beneficiary of that act, and I am one of us. America is a nation of immigrants. So the story recorded in this publication is filled with the life stories of the first generation Chinese American immigrant in Irvine. How we uprooted to a new land. We uprooted our daily routine, our daily living, relocated to a new land. We further studied that and learned how to make a living, either by employment or start a business. The publication also documents how we adapt and adopt the culture of the new land, how we wanted to preserve our own culture, and how are these two cultures blended together. Now, in my particular case, back to Burma, my father was a textile merchant. In 1962, Burma was plunged into a socialist country. Overnight, our family business was taken over, nationalized. All the private schools were nationalized. We were subject to outright discrimination. And occasionally, we also subject to racial violence. My port of entry to the US was Golden Gate of San Francisco. I married Helen, a lively, bubbly girl from Peking with a perfect Mandarin accent. 10 years later, in 1980, we moved our young family down to the city, a young city called Irvine. And the young University of California was under construction indefinitely, called UCI. We settled and raised our 3 children in a beautiful village called Woodbridge, where they go to attend the elementary school. As they schooled, I learned the American culture with them. For example, I learned about the 21 Franciscan missions in California. 3 times, because I have 3 children, I could name them by heart. And I think that, and I recall that I also learned to be a referee of the AYSO weekend games. I also learned to be working with the school. It's called PTA. These new experiences, new culture, enriched my life. They also paved the way for the founding of the K Family Foundation. And I'm very gratified to see that all of my 3 children are actively involved with the foundation, serving as the board members. America is a land of freedom guaranteed by the Constitution. Here in America, the immigrants are given equal opportunity to compete with the more established local enterprise. So when I moved down to Irvine, I pioneered a brand new disability evaluation business called QTC with my sister, Dr. Lei Kay. Together, we developed software solution to solve the problems plaguing the massive and chaotic social disability benefit program in America. With integrity, with hard work, with also innovation, QTC became exceptionally successful, thanks to the American free enterprise system. During our early years in Irvine, Heather and I befriended General Fan Zhong, the founding president of the Evergreen Chinese Senior Association. I met General Fan Zhong in a Sunday school class. He told me he was fundraising for a Lakeview Senior Center. So I made a donation, the first one. Then one day, I visited his home in Woodbridge also. He lived in the same village. Among other things, he told me he was still needed $20,000 to fulfill the $100,000. I then made the second donation to fill out the gap. To that, a computer room was reserved or mentioned as a K family room in the Lakeview Senior Center. In the meantime, Helen, my Peking girl, also spent a regular scheduling to help the wives of the retired general from Taiwan. Many of them are the founding members of the Evergreen Senior Associations. She would drive them to the errands at banks, grocery shopping, and having lunch together. They developed deep and meaningful friendship in and out of church. We fondly remember them up to this day. Time flies. 50 years have passed. Culturally, America has become a much more diversified country. The city of Irvine has become a microcosm of the multiculturalism. The acronym of UCI can be changed to Ultra Cross Culture International. That's UCI, the new one. I did give it to him. By the way, serious aside, serious thing first. The pioneering spirit exhibited by the first generation of the Chinese American in Irvine is deeply rooted in the freedom spirit of the traditional American value. Don't forget that. And I think that it's important, imperative, to pass the baton of this pioneering spirit to the second generation of Chinese American in Irvine. The pioneering spirit is captured and documented in this magnificent, sumptuous publication, thanks to the tireless effort by Rose, Esther, and the entire editorial committee members of the SCCA. Let's give them a round of applause.